Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel if you've been here before. It's lovely to have you join me. It does make a big difference actually, even though I know I'm chatting away in a room in a house with nobody else around. I know somebody eventually is going to hear my ramblings, and that does make it feel like you're here with me. So thank you for watching. Thank you for those of you who comment as well. It really is a joy to be with you and to share some of my ideas with you. Today is not a Spring Fairy collab video, despite me having one of the papers out for it. Today I'm going to do the April YouTube channel, which Karin does on Creative Paper Artisans. This month the colour is lavender and the theme is butterfly and florals. And what we have to do is we have to make a hidden paperclip, 2 clusters, a journal card, and an item from Karin's playlist on her YouTube channel. What I will do is I will link below the video that Karin shows for this month's challenge. I hope that made sense. But your best bet is actually to go over to Karin's channel and see it there, so the link for that below. You might be wondering then, why have I got a Spring Fairy collab bit of paper out? Well, I printed this up on the wrong card. This is on 230 GSM £62 card, and that's no good for an envelope really, because you end up having to really work at it with this. And I actually looked at it and thought this would make a fabulous tag for the challenge. So I'm going to make a tag with the challenge. So shall we just start with the tag? Otherwise we're going to be here all day if I just keep prattling. Let's start. I'm sorry, Karin. Can I say that? I'm sorry. I've used this. This will be the second time I've used this envelope, and I've not used it as an envelope yet. I will use it as an envelope. I'll have to print it off again to use it as an envelope, but I will use it as an envelope eventually. I think. I won't use it as an envelope in my journal because my journal's a tiny one, but I will use it as an envelope. I don't need these bits. I've cut off the side flaps. I've actually trimmed that off further than I realised. Cut off the side flaps. Yeah, I can still use that. Well, I can't use it as an envelope because it's just, I might, we'll see what happens with that. Now we need to just cut this bit off. And actually, I don't know about you, but I think, oh, made a bit of a mess of that, never mind. Let's just trim that off. It's because I was trying to do it watching to make sure, I was making sure I was in frame, and then I tried to cut watching that instead of what I was doing. I think we should leave that shape. I think that shape's lovely for a tag. How about that for a different tag? That's really quite cool, isn't it? But that's not enough, is it? We need more than that. Let's start by having a think. Let's do the back first. I've just seen I had another mishap with another bit of paper for my journal. I put this isn't the ironed paper in there. If you don't iron it, it gets jammed in the machine. But let's use a bit of this to back this. And I'm just thinking, because of, before we do that, the theme is lavender, flowers and butterflies. So I'm going to stamp a butterfly on the back. I have a rather wonderful butterfly from Indigo Blue, from their Butterfly Dance. and as you can see it's got flowers in it as well, and I'm going to stamp that across the back of that, I think. And if I use it in a light colour, okay, so I'm going to use a brush just to bring on some colour along. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to, oh my god, do I want, yeah, I'm going to cut my corners before I do that. And if you were wondering about these bits here, that's my fault, not the stamp's fault. I scrape it across the file, and then with this one you see it's lots of wee bits that end up getting caught in the stamp. My bad. If I tap the stamp, it's just because those stamps, it's a big stamp and a little stamp pad, and never mind. So let's come back over to the front here. Now we've got our flowers, we've got our lavender, and we've got a fairy rather than a butterfly. I think I want to use a butterfly on here. And one of the things, the other things Karin does is she has what she calls her tribe kit. And our tribe are people that pay a subscription, and every month we get, I pay the subscription, I'm not getting this for free for telling you about it, by the way, just in case you're wondering. Every month we get a kit, and it has a variety of pages and papers and things. And this month the kits often have a tie-in with what the challenge is. And this month we've got some lovely butterflies. So I think actually this white butterfly up the top, because it's on the lavender background, so actually having this one here, I might not. I've got other butterflies I could use, because you don't need to use her kits. Sorry, I'm doing this off camera. You can see this is something that if you don't enjoy fussy cutting like I do, then you're going to like this. She does that line roundabout so you can fussy cut. But even I don't fussy cut feelers out, because you just always end up, if you don't end up tearing or overcutting or undercutting when you're doing the cutting, and you don't end up doing it when you're doing the inking, you probably will end up doing it when you do the gluing. So I tend to not fussy cut out feelers, and I'm not even cutting out, doing the ins and outs of that wing. I do the ins and outs of the bottom wing, but the top one I'm just not inclined to, because it was just the way it was looking. Said to me it wasn't worth, you weren't going to get much of an effect because it's darker, and then you ink and it would all disappear. Right. There we go, last wee bit, there we go. And let's just ink this up. Well, that's sweet, isn't it? However, I feel like I want something else on there. I'm conscious of the fact, oh, she could have a hat, a butterfly hat. No, that's, you're just being very silly now, Kirsten. Just stop it. That's even silly for you. I like that butterfly, but it just feels a bit flat, so let's put a bit of something behind it. I've got a bit of sari silk here that's, oh sorry I banged you then, that's not so much lavender as out and out purple, isn't it? But I've got more. That's more purple, more lavender, that, but I do have a lot of sari silks, by the way. That's one thing you'll see lots of if you watch. See, now this goes kind of quite grey and then quite lavendery here. Oh, but when I open it up it's quite grey. This is like some of the sari silks. Some of the sari silks are all the way through, and some have been dyed at a later time. Yeah. I kind of, oh no, I know what I'm going to do, because, ladies and gentlemen, is there any gentlemen watching? I tend to think of junk journaling and crafting as being a female thing, even though my husband does a lot of woodwork type crafting. One of the things you've got to do with this challenge is to do one of Karin's tutorials. Here we go. This is what I was looking for. The other day Heather did one of Karin's tutorials, and which one did she do now? She did matchbook notebooks, which were lovely. I want to make them anyway, but I'm not going to do them for the challenge. However, the other thing that she did was she took some cheesecloth like this, but it's not very raw, it's very loose, and she made it stronger with Mod Podge. We can wet it down a bit. What I want to do is move everything off of here, because I'm going to do it on here and then leave it on here. So you mix that Mod Podge in with that water. Oh, splashed all over the place. Because I hadn't planned to do this. I hadn't planned what I was doing with the tutorials one at all. I'd just forgotten about it till I read it to you. I've made a mess. I'm going to have to get a bit to clean up. This is an absolute... Don't think that just because somebody is stupid enough, me, to think they could do a YouTube channel, that they never make mistakes or a mess or anything else. I haven't got enough Mod Podge in there. I overdid the water terribly. And now the Mod Podge isn't sticking to the brush because it's so wet. There we go. Welcome to my channel. Adventures with making a mess and spilling things. Finding solutions to the things you've made a mess at. This is still far too wet. Okay, I'm going to have to put an awful lot in here to make this work. Thankfully, it's a jar that's, I don't know where the top is, but there is a top to this jar. So I can just, actually, no, yes. Right, one more. Hopefully that'll sort it out. It's still very wet, but I think it will probably be okay, because it's mostly, if I take it from the side and let it drip off, so it's mostly, yeah, no, I think that'll be okay. So basically what you do is you cover this, and this is a piece of cheesecloth that I got, well, somebody gave it to me, it came in Happy Mail, and I thought, oh, I've run out, so that's excellent. And then I was doing something, I thought, oh, I need the colour, so I coloured it, and then I went to use it and discovered it was really a lot looser than I thought it was. So it's actually been sitting in my pile of things, and it's a lavender, and it's got a bit of green in it as well, but that doesn't matter because it's lavender and that's the colour we need. It does nowhere did Karin say we weren't allowed to use another colour as well as lavender. Right, so what I need to do is just bring this all in a bit. Oh, I don't really think it is. I'm going to take another bit of this. I know this isn't what you did, Karin, but just because I've got so wet. This is not how to do. I will link Karin's tutorial below. This is not the tutorial. Karin does the tutorial and Karin does it well because Karin is a good YouTuber, not a baby YouTuber like me who gets it wrong. There we go. So you're basically using the water to help spread the glue around, and then the water will evaporate as it dries and you'll be left with a bit of thing that's more stable than that was before. Ta-da! So that's that. Put that away. This, I need to find the lid for this and wash this. So I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to find the lid for this, wash this, and I'll be back. I'm back with some things I've been cutting out. The cheesecloth is drying and I doubt whether it's going to dry today. Karin on her tutorial says it dried within 2 hours. I'm in the west coast of Scotland on a rainy day and I used too much water, so mine's probably going to take longer than 2 hours. So I'll probably have to come back and finish the tag at another time. So I've put this butterfly and the tag over here out the way. And we've got the other butterflies I cut out here. We've got these two images also from Karin's kit. Flowers. I've got a couple of floral stamps I took out. I've got other bits and pieces around here, because I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do. I've got a bit of Tim Holtz fabric that I can't remember the name of it. And I'm going to, I think I'm going to use, and I've got a bit of this that I will use as my inside paper. My thought is to use this, and it will be up here and then folded over, so they're kind of, oh sorry, so they're kind of falling over. So what I want to do is I want to start by, I've measured this off, and I need to put the paper clip underneath. I'm using a matte paper clip because I don't know how much I'm going to cut off of this, and I don't want it ending up too big. If I do a bigger paper clip, it's going to end up too big. So the way I like to do it when I'm doing this is I like to kind of totally, I'm going to glue all this obviously, but totally encase it. This then, cut that over there. This then goes in there totally, so in fact you've already got a hidden paper clip before I start decorating it. But then if I do that and glue all this down and then work on the decoration, it's just a case of adding this to the decoration and then trimming this if I need to trim it. Do you see what I mean? See? And I use the map type paper clips when I'm doing this kind of style because it's small enough that, you know, I'm not going to make it smaller than that. But if I had the big ones, which when I'm doing if I'm doing more a kind of just a cluster, general cluster, then I think this is going to end up, I'm going to want to cut where there's a paper clip. I hope that made sense. So that's got time to really set before I'm going to be cutting into it. Along there. Now what are you doing that for? Because you're going to have to cut that out. You want to cut, that's going to all go over, but you want that one going over. There was over 20 minutes of me prattling and trying to decide what to do, so I've edited that out for you. You're welcome. Right, so now, even I, who loves to fussy cut, I'm not going to cut round every single one of these petals. I'm going to just cut kind of in the rough shape. If I cut a petal off, I'm not going to fret about it, because actually there'll still be plenty of petals, and the petal police don't bother me. Now, having cut them out, I'm now thinking, why don't I just cut the whole thing out and get rid of that square in the first place? But now you see, oh, now I've got different thoughts rushing through my brain. It's lacking something. Hello everyone. I'm really sorry. This is a couple of days later from when the video that you had me starting to make this tag. I had, as you remember, I had a bit of a mare with the tutorial. I did the wrong mix and it ended up a bit of a mess, so I redid the stiffening the cheesecloth, and then I sat down with the new bit of cheesecloth and the rest of my bits and pieces to start doing the rest of it, and I did the rest of it, and I had a jolly time with you, and I sent my recording to my laptop, and I've just been editing and I can't find it anywhere. And I know that there is a film. I know I sent it to my laptop. I know it arrived at my laptop. Because I watched it on my laptop to make sure I always watch it on my laptop to make sure it's got there before deleting it from my phone. So it's deleted from my phone. Should still be on my laptop, but it's not on my laptop. I can't find it anywhere. So if I find it at a later date, I will insert it into this video. But for now, all I can do is run you through the finished items. And this is the one we'd started on. We've got our stamped butterfly at the back, and I've now got a wee dangle here, and I've just put a couple of wee violets round that hole at the bottom. I've put a bit, I don't know if you can see it, I've put a bit of copper detail on the fairy's wing, and we ended up with having decided to have 3 butterflies going up there with their copper antennae. Remember I said to you I always cut off the feelers. I put wee copper antennae. So that's the, oh, and a bit of sari silk up the top. That's the tag. Then these are my 2 clusters. One made with the lovely lilacs that were in the tribe kit, and one made with bits of, this is a true cluster, this is, because this is the violets from here. This is the log they were in. So I kind of tore that in half and put it at an angle, and that's the other bit of the cheesecloth that's been stiffened. I love this cheesecloth stiffened idea. It's fabulous. If you've never done it, go watch Karin's video so you do it properly, and do it because it is fabulous. I'll link it down below. And the feelers. Love this cluster. I love this one as well, but this one in particular I really love. And then we have this. What is it? Is it the tag? Oh no, there's the tag. Is it a cluster? No, there's the cluster. Oh, wait a minute. Is it another tag? Oop. No, there's the tag. Is it a couple of pockets? No, because it didn't need to do pockets. Oh. It must then be the hidden paperclip. So that's my April KPA YouTube challenge done. Thank you so much for watching. I hope there was something here that kind of tickled your fancy. Take care. And remember, keep crafting. Bye for now.